Now, I said to myself, I finish off this Legend Pass with episode 7 of this. And yeah, of course, there is going to always be a bit of a game lofting at the end of this, which some people might not experience and other people are really, really upset about. And it does kind of suck. But yeah, so I go down through the submissions and I'll mention the thing that really, yeah, it does just suck a small bit. So I'm just going to start off here with the ones that I've got complete already. So the open card packs, that's just any reward that does have random, like say, import parts, credits or blueprints inside there. So do the car hunt or do the various class events on each one of the dailies. That's like the fastest way of getting that one done. Apply import parts, and that has to be to a Porsche car. Now, I actually did it to the Porsche Carrera GT for one of mine, but say if you're going through the Grand Prix at the moment, you'll probably be upgrading that Porsche at one stage during that Grand Prix, hopefully, if you're doing all of the practice stages. If you're really, really stuck for a Porsche to apply that to, you could go for some Ferdinand packs. And yeah, you could upgrade one of those Porsches and apply an import part to that. But hopefully, like I said, the Grand Prix is probably the easiest way of doing that. Get a star up in that. And yeah, you can just apply an import part to that car and hopefully get the key as well for it. Gain 4,000 rep for your club. Well, I mean, you play some Asphalt. And yeah, make sure you're in a club, I guess. So yeah, that might be the only requirement of that, is pretty much might cut out those lone wolves. I'm not sure, actually. That might still count even if you're not actually in a club, just as you gain the rep yourself. Alternatively, for 40 tokens, I think it is, you can make your own club if you want to be a lone wolf. Call your club Lone Wolf. And yeah, you'll still get your reward that way. Pick up the 250 nitro bottles in Himalayas. Now, I actually done that just by playing a couple of races, but you can always cheese that out on something like, say, going into dipping down. All you need to do is pick a Himalayas track, and yeah, that back end of dipping down where you've got the two nitro bottles together, you just pretty much stop your car in between those and just reverse and drive back and forth between the two nitro bottles, and you can get around 70 or 80 of those before you get disqualified in a load of races. Like I said, any place at all where it's a Himalayas track and you have two nitro bottles together, just put your car pointed across the road in between them and just reverse drive. Don't go in a circle because the game will reset your car. But otherwise, yeah, that's only if you need to cheese those. I didn't. Now, so then we have these ones down here that I haven't completed fully yet. So there's the finish 47 races in the Porsche 718 Cayman Club Sport. That is the first Grand Prix car from this Porsche event. I'll go into that one in a second for anyone who didn't get a key for that. Reach top 3 in a race in a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. That's the one that sucks. If you don't have that car, there is no way that you can possibly complete this thing, which has a knock-on effect as well. So I'll go into that one in a sec as well. Perform 5 knockdowns in a single race in a Porsche, and perform 5 knockdowns in a single race just in general. Like the two of those, you're going to couple those together and just, yeah, do 5 knockdowns in a Porsche. Very easy, but yeah, I'll just go through it because there's one place where that can actually help you out with quite a lot. Finish 46 races in a Caribbean is one thing that you can't really couple up with anything else in this event. That is just one where the easiest way of doing it is going into the career mode here and just at the Welcome to Paradise portion, click straight in here into Resort Dash. It's a 20-30 second race, and yeah, you can overpower this one very, very easily with touch drive. So just coming in here with something like the Hurricane, put it on touch drive and just click play. Let that do it 46 times. It's not exciting, it's just a bit of a grind, but you can be doing other bits and pieces while having your Switch just go between some of your faster cars here and just, yeah, farm out those 46 races. It's a little bit time consuming. It'll take about an hour to do all of them, but yeah, you've got a good selection of cars available for this that you can just throw at this one repeatedly. And up top here, you've got the Perform Stunts in US Midwest and the Drift that distance in Cairo. Now the two of these together, you could try and grind those out individually, but I'm just going to show you where you can couple those up with the other races that require the Porsche 911 GT3 RS and the Porsche 718 Cayman, because both of these line up with these two quests at the top. So I'll show you the races where you can grind those ones out, providing you have those cars. Now, firstly as well, I'm just going to address one thing here for the finish races in the 718 Cayman Club Sport. If you haven't got that car, that appears at first like a really, really, really bad thing because you're missing out on 704 of the Legend Pass points. The other thing is that car is available in another area. So if you weren't actually lucky enough to unlock this car during the Grand Prix event and get a key for it, don't panic too much, because if you go into the Carrera GT special event, which is still available for the next couple of days, stage 2 of that, just click play on this and there's a free trial of the Cayman GT4 Club Sport. So if you've got the 911 GT3 RS but you're missing this car, at least you can come in here and it'll cost you tickets instead of like the free way of doing it in the career, which I'll go into in a minute. But at least you can actually do this one if you're only missing the key for the GT4 Club Sport, because key or not, the stage 2 is completely free to use this car, so you can just touch drive this one, throw it in here a bunch of times, and grind it out that way. So at least there is one route for people who don't own the key for the Cayman GT4. And like the one that really sucks though is this reach top 3 in a race in the 911 GT3 RS. And a lot of people who've played this game for quite a while will probably have that car. But for those that don't have it, like, it's completely a requirement to get the 3 taken blueprints here from completing 100% of episode 7. And it does mean the fact that you're going to miss out on the 3rd star for that taken, which is kind of one of the things which is promised with the $9.99 purchase of the season pass, which kind of sucks. One of the worst things about it is the fact that, like, they've removed a lot of the other kind of requirements on a load of the events. So as you played through this event, there's been changes made where certain requirements have been removed to make this one that bit easier. But to leave this on the final day, it's just really kind of ratty. It's like the only thing that it's going to do is obviously just trip up players who are missing that 911 GT3 RS. Now you can go into the store and you can buy it with those Ferdinand packs. The only thing is there's 2 other cars inside those, and the blueprints are split pretty much equally between them. And I think the GT3 RS costs about 55 blueprints to unlock, like at that 1st star. Like, getting 55 blueprints out of those Ferdinand packs for any one particular car is going to be a nightmare, because you're effectively going to end up with 55 blueprints for the 911 GT1 Evolution, the 918 and the 911 GT3 RS. Like, it's going to cost about 20,000 tokens if you need to go down that route. It just really sucks, especially when you consider the fact that all this has done is annoyed loads of players. Like, there's the Facebook group, I've seen a lot of angst about this, and for what? It's a case of it's 3 blueprints for the Taken Turbo S, a car that's kind of terrible, and it's just the difference between getting those 3 blueprints will be the difference between getting it to 2 stars and getting it to that 3rd star. And it'll be worthless at 2 stars and it's worthless at 3 stars. Just I do not get putting that requirement in there at the end to just trip up some players. All you're going to do is, in 6 days before you launch the Lamborghini season pass, you're going to annoy players about a Taken Turbo S. Such a stupid move, in my opinion. I really think that should hopefully be altered, because they've gotten a lot of negative feedback over it. Maybe even just introduce a daily event where you can use the Porsche 911 GT3 RS for free, and even that would suck, because then it'd be a daily event, you'd have to do it for tickets. But I'm not sure, but just that event on its own, the way it stands right now, really, really sucks. The only other thing that people have mentioned is there's the potential that multiplayer 2 could change over to be a Porsche 911 GT3 RS multiplayer, but I don't think that's the case. If it's likely, it's probably going to be something else, maybe the other Grand Prix car. I'm really not sure as of just yet, but the way it stands right now, all it's done is annoy players and make people kind of annoyed that it's something that they're not going to get out of the $9.99 season pass 6 days before the next season pass. Don't put buyer's remorse to players, not 6 days before you try and sell them another €10 pass. Now though, for the people with the cars, I'm going to go through the way of pairing up these 2 along with these 2 and making them quite easy to do. So I'm going to start off here with finishing my 911 GT3 RS runs and the drifting in Cairo. Now, an absolutely fantastic place for that is go into the B class novice in career and all the way up here to, race number 11, 1000 minarets. Pop in here. The 911 GT3 RS is one of the selectable cars. At the very end, it requires 1500 rank. So yeah, selecting this will give us the wins in this car. The only thing is you can also select play on this with touch drive enabled, and this is one where you'll be doing touch drive and also kind of sort of not doing input to the race, except for at the very start. And I'll show you what I mean with this. Hopefully this works out fine, because this is my last fuel unit for this car for a bit. But yeah, just at the start here, you're probably going to run into the back of the Porsche that's in front of you. You just nitro him out of the way if he does want to get in the way. And I would just basically avoid that ramp by selecting left, and then just hold the B button for the duration of this race while you're doing that part of the quest anyway, for getting the drift meters in on this one. And yeah, as you see here, like with touch drive enabled, the car will drift for the pretty much the entirety of this race. You should hopefully avoid the AI, and you can literally just do nothing but just hold that B button for the entire race. Well, I'm not sure what other activities can you get up to while you're holding a controller pro in one hand. But yeah, like this is just a very good way of coupling these two things together, at least while you need to grind out the actual Cairo drifting anyway, because it's 100,000. You get about 5,000 or so meters per run of this track by doing it like this. So you only need to do about 20 of them like this one if you want to try and farm out the Cairo drifting at the same time as you're doing this. But yeah, I say like do this a couple of times, maybe racing your dailies and stuff like that, because it's just any drifting at all on Cairo will count. So if you're doing multiplayer and stuff like that, I wouldn't go too far out of your way to grind the Cairo stuff unless you're actually like coming up towards finishing off all the other quests. But if you want to do this quest and knock out that thing, you can see there, yeah, 5,500 drifting just by doing nothing more than select the race and yeah, hold that B button down through the majority of it, just avoiding that one ramp at the start, because you can kind of flip over the car when it's in touch drive. But there we go, 141 for that and 704 for that, bringing me up to tier 49. Because I got this Legend Pass at the very, very start as well, and I accidentally purchased one of the stages for it really early on, so I'm going to finish this slightly ahead of all those quests being complete anyway. Now, so going to do a couple of quests here in the same time. So this Porsche 718 Cayman Club Sport, if you have that car unlocked, the perform 5 knockdowns in a single race, perform 5 knockdowns in a single race, because that's a Porsche, it'll count as well, and performing stunts in the US Midwest. For those, if you have got the key for it, one of the places that I found really great for it is in the Porsche season and say Canyon launch in US Midwest. Now, the handy thing about this is the fact that, like, yeah, it allows that car to be used. The recommended rank is really, really low. And because of the fact that it's US Midwest, it'll count all of the stunts that you do. Now, stunts also includes knockdowns. So by selecting this car here and going for pretty much as many knockdowns as you possibly can, effectively every time you get a knockdown on someone, it'll count as a stunt. Also, all you have to do is finish this race. So even if you were to lose the race but just do tons and tons of stunts, you will like grind out that thing. So I'm currently on 106 stunts complete for this, so I'm gonna just see like exactly how many stunts you can grind out, and yeah, just how crazy you can kind of do this one, and yeah, get a few stunts done, get a race done in the 718, and get those two things for knocking down 5 people. A key to this as well is the fact that like it just has to be finish races in this car to count towards that 47 quest reward. So you do not need to worry about finishing this race in first. It just has to be a case of finishing the race. So my focus here is going to be exclusively on doing as many stunts as possible. So barrel rolls, 360s, and knockdowns all over the place on this one. And yeah, let's see. Like I said, I'm just past the 100 mark, so gonna just go into as many of the AI as possible, because yeah, I've been kind of putting off getting those 5 knockdowns. Let's see, which way is this AI gonna go? There we go, another knockdown. And yeah, they are pretty slow on this track, so it's not going to be too much of a bother to like kind of shepherd them up and get 5 knockdowns on them. AI tends to really want to stay around the player anyway and bump off you as much as possible, so if anything, you're probably going to have more trouble not doing 5 knockdowns on AI in a single race. I know for me personally, I've been trying to avoid it, but yeah, just knockout. Like I said, I think that was a knockdown from an AI crashing into the back of me, which is great. So that should be the 5th one of those. And yeah, each one of these 360s is just another one into the pile of, yeah, stunts completed. Like I said, the game as well will give you a stunt for every single knockdown you perform on an AI. So it is a fairly handy way of grinding out some bonus stunts on this track. And of course, crazy amounts of barrel rolls. Let's see, can I make sure and knock out another few AI before the end of the race? One 911 GT3, or I mean GT4. Oh, these cars are all so similar. But yeah, I'm just gonna 360 all the way to that finish line. Really, just as long as you don't get DQ'd, you should be fine for this one. Just as long as you're getting those finish races. Even if you did get DQ'd, it would still count towards yeah, the other things. So the stunts in the US Midwest, the knockdowns. It's just a case of, I think you probably get DQ'd a bit after the 2-minute mark in that one, because the AI does seem to rush for the finish line at the 2-minute mark. And let's see, how many stunts did we actually get on that run? There's our 5 knockdowns. And token rewards for that. But yeah, so there's some tokens apparently for Legend Pass all tiers. Continue playing continue playing missions to get tokens. It looked like it was 5 tokens per mission there. Ugh, that's not exactly amazing, but at the same time, we need to do all those missions if you want to get the actual 3 blueprints for the Taken. So, oh wow, that is just 5 tokens per mission. That is so sucky. But yeah, in terms of stunts there, that's gone from 106, I think it was, up to 153. And I've got 3 more races to go, so I'm going to see if I can knock the 2 of those out together, just doing those races. Now, and that should be race number 47, I think, with like, yeah, another 50 or so 360s thrown into the mix in that. 5 and 5 tokens. Ooh, Game Loft, thank you. Perform stunts 300, and yeah, there's our 47 races complete at tier 50. Now, and all I've got left to do then is this one race in finish in first place in the Caribbean. And I had just been doing that in some multiplayer races, but also you have the Welcome to Paradise area where you can just throw cars in here repeatedly on touch drive, and pretty much anything like of the cars selectable in this should easily enough touch drive this with 0 input. I'm going to use the Hurricane Evo, and yeah, we'll have a quick blast around this and then take a look at the rewards for all of the end of this season pass. It's kind of a bit of an odd one because like most of this was really okay. There was some grinding and stuff that needed to be done. It was some cool little bits and pieces of content. Some of the rewards are fairly mediocre, so like the Targa, a lot of players might have had that already coming into this. The Taken definitely is not exactly an amazing car, but at the same time it's cool enough to get it. I do just think it's such a blunder with the way that they've done that last thing with the 3rd star for the Taken. a load of players are going to get cut out. Ooh, have to correct a fail barrel roll of death there, but there we go. Legend Pass complete and burst into flames. That is the course that's used in the burst of speed as well, and a load of ones, the resort dash. So it's not too bad if you wanted to get some practice in with a few fairly cool cars, just to give this race a couple of actual runs outside of Touch Drive as well. Practice makes perfect, as they say. And there's my final 5 tokens, but that's all of the season rewards now. So that's strange wording. Congratulations, you already completed all Porsche season missions. I already completed them. Rewards. 1 million credits. Yeah, I'd heard about that, but it's not one of the rewards which is actually listed on the thing. So that's pretty cool. Boost of 1 million credits. And nice message. Season ends in 6 days. Wait until the next season to buy a new Legend Pass. Do I have to wait to buy it? I want to buy it now. Take my money. What a weird way to do it. Maybe like enjoy the rewards till the end of this Legend Pass. Hi. Speaking of enjoying the rewards till the end of the Legends Pass, don't forget to make use out of the trade token bonus that came from last week's rewards. Definitely like trade in any of the import parts that you've got overrunning inside in your garage. So going into your inventory, and yeah, you want to be kind of trashing out any of the kind of excess rare and not epic import parts. Never trade those unless the cars are golden. But yeah, like honestly, never ever trade those unless you've got the golden cars. Just keep on to all of them. You never know when you might get an opportunity to get them, even if it seems like really unlikely. Say like I've got 7 import parts here for the 1896 tech rules. I'll probably never get to apply those to my tech rules, but yeah, still, I'm not going to trade those in because you don't know. There might be an event down the road where, yeah, you might get an opportunity to make use of them. And considering the fact that they give 100 trade coins, just don't trade those in ever unless, like I said, the car's golden. I usually maintain around 30 or so of each one of the rare import parts, which is overkill realistically because of the fact of, yeah, like, I'm never going to be installing that amount of rare import parts, and I just keep a handful of the blue ones as well. I whittle that right down just to get as many of the actual trade coins as possible, because yeah, right now they're worth like 32 a pop, and I'm close enough to the 100k trade coin, so that's healthy enough. And like I said, just make use out of that trade coin bonus while this season pass is still running. But now, the actual other rewards then that we're going to get from these missions. Time to claim those up. That target, ton of blueprints for that. Another epic for the Taken, which I'm not sure. I'm not going to be able to use that actually, I guess, because I only have it at 3 stars. There is, yeah, blueprints to bring that right up. Some awesome looking decals. More target. Another epic for the Taken. Enough to bring the Taken within 3 blueprints leveling up, and then my 500 tokens. Now, the thing that sucks about that is, yeah, for people who are missing out on the legend points that you're going to get from having the 911 GT3 RS, that's where it sucks here, because it's going to stop on that 30 blueprints instead of getting to the 3rd star fully. Those epics, pretty cool. A car decal for the Taken. I can't wait to see what that actually looks like. Maybe it might not be awful. SLR McLaren decal, I'll take a look at that. The Senna, and you have a new set of rims as well for the 918 Spider. Pretty sure that's all of those actually unlocked throughout this event, which is pretty cool. And yeah, one more Taken epic import part. That brings me right up to 99,000 trade coins as well then, with all the bits that are trashed from that. Looks quite cool with everything ticked off. I can no longer accidentally spend tokens by clicking on this. Why did I even press A? I'm surprised knowing this game that didn't just start draining my tokens. And if we go to missions, we get our 100% complete. Time to claim those Taken blueprints for the 3rd star on this guy. Right up to that 3 stars. blistering 2,369. Nice rating. It's a tiny spoiler at the back, just in case it ever needed more wind resistance that's needed, like than a driver sitting inside this thing. Now, so going to take a look through some of those rewards then. The Take-In Turbo S, it's like mine is on the 3rd star. I've got the decal for it. The one thing I'll say about this is there is a mention of a car hunt for this car becoming available to people who purchase the Legend Pass. So I'm not sure when or if we'll see that on the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, if you have gotten this car up to, you know, we're that point where you're missing those 3 blueprints to get it to the 3rd star, just maybe like hopefully hold out and you'll get to see that 3rd star in that yeah, car hunt at least anyway, if that does come to the Switch like it did on the global version of the game. One thing I will mention about this car as well, if you are driving it, keep in mind that it's one of the newer electric cars in the game, so this benefits from doing a perfect nitro. So if you're doing a nitro state in this game with any car, it's usually a case of like, it doesn't matter which yellow, purple, blue, orange, green or whatever nitro you're using. It's just a case of with these newer electric cars, as you see on the door, yeah, any of the newer electric cars, so the Vanda Electrics, the Nissan Leaf and the Take-In Turbo S, like if it's an electric car in the perfect nitro state, the speed is usually about 13% faster, which equals out to about maybe 10 miles an hour faster in this car. So if you do end up having to use this for an event, just keep in mind, blue nitro all the way. Now, I like the gold version of this, as always with my cars, but there's a decal to be had, and oh, that actually looks kind of cool, and it looks like lightning bolts a small bit. And it's sort of yellow and black. Yeah, I think I'll be taking that. Ha ha ha, get it? Because I'm taking it. Anyway, that's cool. Really nice looking decal for that. That is, yeah, that is awesome looking. Very surprising, the fact that that looks so nice. Yeah, that's definitely a decal that I would happily make use of on the car. Love the interior deck details on the car as well. The internal computer and everything visible. Like the amount of detail that they put on some of these models is really, really impressive. Especially when you consider the fairly limited power of the Switch, like in comparison to some of the other consoles. Like I think that this game really does look nice for, especially yeah, a basic free-to-play game. Mostly less exciting here because I really don't think I'm going to be replacing those rims. But what were the final set that were unlocked for this? No, that looks rubbish. Oh well. Yep, straight back to my other ones. But yeah, at least now I have all of the rims available for the 918 Spider. But yeah, those alloys, definitely my favorite on that one. Now then, and the SLR gets a decal again in this event. Very strange that the, like, both McLarens getting decals in this. I don't know of any actual link between McLaren and Porsche. Maybe let me know in the comments if I'm missing something there, but yeah, I'm not sure what that is. That certainly is a shiny decal. It's weird. It's not bad. Not great. It's not that yellow thing. Yeah, that's not too bad. Like the McLaren naming and stuff on the side of it. And very yeah, reflective metal on the bonnet of that car. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not bad at all. Hopefully the decal that's included for the Senna is as nice as these two. Kind of thinking it probably won't now. Not going to get 3 in a row, am I? And easily one of my favorite cars in this game. But let's see, McLaren Senna. I may have to remove the actual carbon fiber to see this decal because of the way that carbon has been applied. And yeah, I will. And there we go. That's the end decal then for the McLaren Senna. It kind of changes the body look of that car by quite a bit, actually. Just, yeah. Again, not bad. It's like, yeah, quite a cool, very, very sleek and very reflective decal, very, very glossed. But yeah, that is not that bad at all. I really like the kind of, yeah, contrasting black and, yeah, yellowy colors. Something about that color design's kind of nice. Yellowy, orangey, yeah. I'll call it yellow just so I can be happy. But yeah, that's another pretty cool looking decal. And yeah, for one of my favorite cars in the game. So I can't really complain too much with that. But that's episode 7 of this complete. And yeah, I was able to complete all of these because of having like a few of the extra cars and stuff coming into this one. At the same time, like if you're going to be playing through this, like it's one of those things where even if you wouldn't complete all of the stuff out of this, just getting the taken and being able to bring that into, say, the Carrera event and farm out the tokens and stuff from inside there, or use that, like, for €10, these legend passes are definitely, like, it's good value for money. If you're going to buy any microtransaction within Asphalt 9 Legends, I would say that this first legend pass didn't disappoint in terms of what it gave. It's like 2 months of content or so for €10, which if you're just going to play the game for a couple of months, that's definitely not a huge ask. And like, yeah, there's definitely far worse DLC that you can get. So like, if you look at something like the Grand Prix at the moment, you can buy like a pack which I think it's got like 1 or 2 blueprints inside there, and it costs €10. So compare 2 months of missions, quests, and like rewards for €10, or a single blueprint for a car in a Grand Prix. I mean, in my opinion, in that case, there's really no equivalence in like the sheer value out of the Legend Pass. Now, the next one is going to be the Lamborghini season, which will be coming in probably as soon as this actually ends, so in 6 days time. I was talking with Ziggy, and hopefully the two of us can get together and make a video talking about that one, hopefully before it kicks off. But yeah, I need to rope in my New York brother for a video if that's possible. Hopefully it will be, because yeah, obviously with stuff reopening and the 6-hour time zone between us, that's kind of a little bit of an issue. But like, I've really kind of enjoyed this. I see how it's annoyed some players and stuff, but if you've got this Legend Pass, do keep in mind, like I said, there was a car hunt for the taken, which became available later on for people who had bought the Legend Pass. Now, I'm not sure will that appear for us, or what's the story, because yeah, this was slightly different, but it is a bit of a shame that people will be getting cut out from that 911 GT3 RS one at least. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my playing along through this one, and yeah, I've enjoyed making these videos anyway, so let us know in the comments down below if there's anything that you've kind of missed out on with this, or just questions that you have about like where I got certain cars or which tracks I was using or so. But yeah, otherwise guys, there's a sub button up there over my head. If you watch these videos, really appreciate it. If you click that, that's amazing as well. Thank you very much for the support on this channel. There's Indie Rowdy up there, where I take a look at small indie games on the Switch, and there is other content on my channel at this side that YouTube thinks you like, most likely be Asphalt related. But yeah guys, good luck, drive safe, and hopefully you guys are having some fun with these challenges as well.